Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Reka Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Hakim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Kwatasab Sayan from the GMS Holland camp, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA with another lesson, with another video, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. Khan Hakim. So I came across this picture, right? And what you see here is AHSHAWAR. AHSHAWAR in the Hebrew means wasted away is he. And what is wasted away is pigment, you know. AHSHASH goes into to spoil and to waste away. And the Y in the end makes it pursuing to him. So his pigmentation is wasted away. So he is sitting there with a crown on his head, meaning that he is in rulership. And you see these two serpents on his arms, which resemble that he is that old serpent, you know, through the spirit. I saw this and the spirit hit me to make a video on Esau, that old serpent, you know. So with that, let me jump straight into it. Let's go to the book of Revelations 12. Verse 9 till 12. Gone. So this is Revelations 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out. The dragon, which represents the Roman Empire. That great dragon was cast out. That old serpent, which represents Esau, called the devil. And the word devil goes into calumniator, slanderer, false accuser, and somebody that wants to side with Satan. So that old serpent, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. God, and that's what he does. He deceives the whole world. How? Through his witchcraft, through his television, through his lies, you know. Everybody knows that Esau, Edom, you can't trust him, you know, because his tongue frameth deceit. Let me go to the book of Sirach. Sirach 12, verse 10. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So never trust thy enemy. And who is our enemy? Our enemy is Esau, Edom. You know, you can see it in everything that they do. They're our adversary, you know. They are contrary against us. They come against us in everything that we do. You know, we can't even build something up without them trying to destroy it. Talking about, yeah, do you got the proper papers? Do you got the proper permits and stuff like that? You know, look at Black Wall Street, what they did. They bombed that, you know. We can't build up anything for ourselves in his society. But, yeah, it was given unto him. This is his society. This is his rulership. The Most High gave it to him. And the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are not supposed to prosper, because this is our captivity. This is our we need to learn a lesson because of the transgression of our forefathers, you know. So never trust thine enemy. You can't trust these people. All these nations know that you can't really trust the white man. You know, he comes smiling with wearing a suit, but behind his back he has a dagger ready to stab you in the back. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Gone. So just like how iron is surely going to rust, that's how the enemy is surely going to show his wickedness. Verse 11, though he humble himself, coming with a suit and tie to make deals with you, to make contracts with you, you know, and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. God, a looking glass is like iron, you know, that is smoothened out So that's what people used back in the day as a looking glass, as glass, because it was so smooth that you could see your reflection. And thou know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away, gone. So in that looking glass, that iron looking glass, it is bound to rust. It's bound to have some spots that are going to rust. So even though you wipe it, the rust is not gone. So that's how Esau, Edom, when you look at him, you'd be like, nah, he's not that bad. But then when you look again, they be like, nah, I can't trust this devil, because Esau, Edom is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Look at what they did to Gad. Look at what they did to the northern kingdom when they came with the conquistadors and what was his name? Columbus. They came to rape, rob, and murder. And Columbus, he slew so many northern tribers that he was called a man. He wanted to be called a man that never put down a sword, because they were constantly slaying northern tribers, Reuben, Gad, Ephraim. And those are tribes of our nation, which our nation is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are called the Israelites. That's our biblical name. And Esau, Edom is the white man's biblical name. You see? So you can trust him. But he's been put in rulership right now through the spirit and power of Yahweh YASHAMIAHLA, because he is the one that put it up, kings, set it up, kings, and take it away, kings. It's in the book of Daniel 2, I believe. Gone. This is Daniel 2, verse 20. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of Yahweh forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the time and the seasons. He removeth kings, and he setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. You see? So the Most High is the one that puts up kings. He put up all these nations over us. You had the Babylonian captivity, you had the Assyrian captivity, you had the Medo-Persian captivity, you had the Grecian captivity, then you had the Roman captivity. And mind you this, contrary unto popular belief, the Romans are still in rulership. The Romans never gave up their rulership, All these stories that you hear, it's not a fairy tale. It might look like a fairy tale, when you listen to it, it's like history, or it's something that you don't live out onto this day. But if you take a look around you at all the architecture and all the sculptures and stuff like that, you still see that the Romans have left their legacy, but they weren't done away with. The Romans are still in rulership. But now it's the Roman revived empire, because they are sticking together with all these contracts with the NATO, that they don't shoot each other up. So the Most High put these Romans, which is the so-called black people, which is the so-called Edomites, the so-called white people. They have been put in rulership by the Most High, and we are supposed to abide by their rules. Because they are in rulership. Even though you look at his dusty ass, he is not fit to rule a kingdom, because he is as deaf. If you look at him, he has his pawns that he sends out, to be all nice and smooth as butter when they speak, but he himself, his spirit is not upright in him. His way is grievous unto the men of the Most High, the men that do want to walk in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. His way is always grievous. He comes with some grievous laws. He comes with things to benefit himself. He enlarges his borders. He enlarges, he spoils every nation. Let me see. Let me just get the precepts before I forget. Let's go to Proverbs. Deal with that one first. Proverbs 14, verse Salakia. Psalms. Psalms 10, verse 5. His ways, this is Psalms 10 and 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. You see? So the men that do want to do the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, that do want to show their love to the Most High, to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, to them, Esau, Edom is grievous, everything that they do. But the ones that are in line and in tune with this world, they don't care. You know, they got that YOLO spirit on them. They got that live now and you know, that capitalism spirit upon them. But the men that want to be spiritual, his ways, the ways of Esau, Edom, that old serpent, is constantly grievous unto them. You know, as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He had said in his heart, I shall not be moved. And that's what Esau, Edom says. I shall not be moved, for I shall never be an adversary. You know, the Esau, Edom, he thinks he's gonna have rulership forever. You know, but he sees that everything is going down the drain. Everything is circling down the drain. So he is making ready to make that push towards that new world order so that he can prolong his rulership. You know, he's going to make the people their perpetual slaves. Why? How? These people, they have to submit themselves onto this technology, the MOB that they're going to push. And if they do willingly take it, then they have the right, the so-called white man has the right to rule over you, because you giving yourself up as a slave. You are giving yourself up as property towards him. So he's going to look at the Most High like, hey, these people, they're giving themselves up to be joined unto me. So I'm still in rulership, you see. I'm not losing the grip. So that's how Esau, Edom thinks. He wants them. He's going to come with his deceit. He's going to come with his sneakiness. He's going to come with, oh, it's so convenient to have this. It's so convenient to have this electronic device in your body so that when you lose your kids, you know exactly where they are. When you lose your keys, you don't need to carry any keys. When you lose your credit card, you don't have to have your credit card with you, because everything is sealed in this electronic device. You see? And that's simultaneously also a mark. There I go, saying the word. It's also immediately a stamp of servitude. That's what the word I was looking for. So it's a stamp of servitude, a stamp of bondage joined onto Esau, Edom. That's what you're going to be. Yeah. God, let me read on. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. You see, as I was speaking about, you know, he comes with deceit and fraud. When he came to the northern tribes, he came with loving words or with kind words, but then he gave them a blanket laced with fleas, you know, so that the northern tribers would get sick, you know, and then he made his move. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity, yeah, because he speaks lies. He comes with that poisonous venom. Let me see. What was it? Psalms 58, I believe. Bear with me for a second. God. Psalms 58, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, that old serpent. You know, that's what he spews. He spews poisonous venom. Although it might seem like he's not gonna attack, although it might seem like he's for you, he still spews that poisonous venom. That's why he's called the serpent, you know. You can't trust these devils. Their poison is like the poison of serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth the ear. God, speaking about Esau, Edom. Going back to Psalms 10. It's like, yeah, clicked the wrong for Psalms, yeah, 10. God, reading on Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. God, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. You always have these cameras around, and then you have people behind the cameras in the control panel room that are constantly observing what is happening, constantly recording everything. So he is lurking in the secret places where you don't see him, but you don't see him, but he sees you. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. His eyes are privily set against who is the poor? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. They are the poor of this society. So he is constantly observing them. As it says in Wisdom of Solomon 2, that chapter explains that he wants to see what the godly man is going to say, Verse 9, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. You see? The poor is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. He that catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. God, that's what he's laying nets and snares for the poor. Everything. Look at this this door-to-door potion that they want to give to our people. That's a snare onto them. He's laying nets and snares up. He is saying that if you get this potion, then you will get some fries. You will get a burger. You will get this. You will get that. A free lap dance. He's coming with he's making alliances with rappers and making songs. That they push that vibration and that snare and that net onto our people. But you don't know what you're injecting yourself with, that death potion. But yeah, man, going back. So let me read again. This is Revelations 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Speaking about that, he is going to be taken out of rulership because he was ruling during the pagan Rome Empire, And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. And who's the accuser of our brethren? That false accuser, that's Esau, Edom. Because Esau, Edom, he slanders his own brother's son, his own mother's son. Salakia. This is Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. God. So you are, Esau Edom is slandering his mother's son's name. And who is that? That's the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because who is Esau's mother's son? Is Jacob. Esau and Jacob. Esau versus Jacob. Those two are the main characters of this whole story, of the whole Bible. God. So salvation is going to come for Jacob. How? Through Yahushai, which accused them before our power day and night. God. So he's the one that makes us go off, and then he's like, hey, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, is not going to see me because they are constantly going off. Because when we are joined, when we are following the statutes, and we are in the presence and in the face, meaning that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is dealing with us, that we are in his sight, then nobody can be against us. Look at Simon, look at King David, look at King Saul. When the Spirit is dwelling with us, then we are unstoppable and unbeatable, and that they know these things. These nations know these things. So that's why they are constantly trying to keep us down and keep us breaking the laws by feeding us pork and dog and shrimp and all these kind of lobsters and abominable things, and they are feeding us poison to the mind also, this rap, which is low vibration. They want to keep us from being in tune and in line with our power, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Revelations 12 verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, the blood of Yahushai, because he came, and that's the person who everybody ignorantly calls Jesus. So he blotted out our sins. He covered us until the time that he is going to come for his second coming, when he's going to crack open the skies and come with chariots to bring judgment onto this place. So we are covered by believing, by having faith in Yahushai, and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death. No, we don't love our lives, man. Look at this state that we are in. Everything that we do is, everything that Esau, Edom does is grievous unto us. So we just want to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to the fullest. But we are being blocked. We have to go to work. We have to take care of certain things in the house, and it's not supposed to be like that, because we are kings and priests. We are supposed to have servants doing certain things so that we can focus on the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Wisdom cometh by way of leisure. This is Sirach 38 verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that had little business shall become wise. You see, so if you are not constantly have to go to work, have to do this, have to maintain your household without servants helping you, you're not going to have time for leisure. Because let's go into that word leisure. Leisure is like spare time. Leisure, from the 1300, leisure, free time, time at one's disposal. Also early 1400s, opportunity to do something, change, occasion, an opportune time, lack of hurry. You see, all these things, we constantly got to hurry, got disappointment, we got to do that, we got to go there, we got to, we are being chased by time. Esau is making, he's wearing out the saints, as the scripture says, and it was given unto him to do that. So that's what we are doing. But we, as men of the Lord, we want to basically just chill and dive into the scriptures, seek wisdom and knowledge and understanding. As Isaiah 33 and 6 says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So that's what we want to do. That's our pleasure. We enjoy diving into the scriptures. Go on, reading on. From Old French, leisure, variant of loisir, capacity, ability, freedom to do something, permission, spare time, free will, idleness, inactivity. Noun used to infinite, leisure, be permitted. From Latin, licere, to be allowed. Gone. So, as I was reading, they don't love their lives unto death. No, because this is not the life that we want to live, because the spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophet. So we want to be busy with heavenly and godly conversations. You see? So reading on Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Gone. And that's what Esau Edom is doing right now. He sees he's losing his grip. He sees that everything is circling down the drain. So now he's gonna come with that Operation Warp Speed. That's why now he's gonna push. He's gonna push for his NWO. You know, because he sees that he has a short time. He's doing so many things at the same time. You know, you can barely keep up with him. But slowly but surely, through gradualism, he is pushing towards his new world order. You know, order archeo. So now everything is chaotic, but then he's gonna show you the solution. Like, hey, here I got a new potion. Here I got a remedy for this. Hey, you know, there's a famine coming up. It looks like stock is dying and this is dying, but all the while he is structurally breaking down his own kingdom. You see? So let's go to Revelations 20. This is Revelations 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, Esau Edom, so-called white man, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. That's during the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, you know. And then after that, we ruled in the Byzantine Empire from 395 BC, Salakia, after Christ, 390, Salakia, let me say it correctly, from 395 until the mid 1400s. That's when we ruled in Europe, you know. So in that season, Esau Edom wasn't to be found. It wasn't his rulership for a while. You know, that's why it says he was bound for 1,000 years. So Revelations 20 and 3 says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more. So you see, you got to underline that deceive, because that's what he does. He comes with deceivableness. You can't trust this dude, you know, the so-called white man, because that's one of his gifts also. He has been given the gift to deceive the nations, you know. But what was that scripture? Isaiah 27. The veil shall be uncovered. You know, the Most High is going to uncover the veil, and all these nations are going to be mad. You know, as it says in the book of Habakkuk. What was it? Bear with me for a second. Let me look for it real quick. Isaiah 27. So like, I can't find it immediately, but when I find it, I'm gonna put it in the description box. So let me read on. Revelations 20, verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. You see? So that little season that we spoke about, that we read, and that he knows that he has but a short time, that's the pressure that he's feeling right now. You know, so now he has that fear, and he's gonna make his move. But he's losing his grip, man, because Esau, Edom is not fit for rulership. Esau, Edom, look at this guy. This is actually the true state of Esau, Edom. You see, with the dark eyes, you can't trust him. With the dim eyes, with the with the serpents around his neck, you know, because he spews that poison, you know. His wine is as poison, as it says in the scriptures, you know, because he wants to push that sodomite vibration heavily, you know. He wants a boy for a harlot. That's the soul, that's the spirit which is lifted up in him, that is not upright. You know, so he's not fit for rulership. So let me close it off with this. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 14. Verse 11 is Proverbs 14 and 11. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown. The house of Esau, Edom shall be overthrown. But the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. And that's what's going to come in the end. You know, Esau's going to be overthrown. And the tabernacle of the upright, which is the tabernacle of David, which is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, they are going to flourish. They are going to be set up high, and all these nations are going to be brought low. You see? So as it says in the scriptures, that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So this guy, he's losing his grip. He's losing his kingdom. Everything is going down the drain. But he is still trying to grasp on and try to deceive people. He's still trying to deceive people and taking his poisonous shots, his potions, and to take the stamp of servitude. And Esau's that old deceiving spirit, as the same spirit that was in the time of Adam and Eve, because the serpent had deceived Eve. You know, Eve being first deceived, but Adam not. So that's why Esau is that old serpent, is that old spirit coming back. So even though he sits like nothing can befall him, Esau, Edom is going down. And the children of Jacob, the children of Israel, the children of the Most High are going to be brought high and going to be set in rulership forever and ever. So with that, I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rekak Kudash, Shalom Akim.